Welcome, and thank you for joining us on This Week in the Valley. Our show features people and events that are making a difference where we live, right here in North Missouri. I'm Donna Bell.
And I'm Darren Elazaris, and we have a great show for you. And joining us a bit later are Richard Fordyce, the Director of Missouri Agriculture with the Missouri State Fair, and Volunteering in the Valley with Gene Jones and guests Linda Farmer and Hertha Wooten.
The University of Missouri Extension Office hosted an open house. We will bring you that, along with the Macon County Economic Development Director announcement and Love's Travel Stop grand opening celebration, all in our second half. We have a busy show, but not as busy as it is shaping up to be at the Missouri State Fair next week.
This is the 113th year for the Missouri State Fair, and for many families, this is their family vacation. They set up the camp along with some of their family and friends, staying for a week or more, taking in all the festivities.
There is so much to do for the young and young at heart. Prize-winning exhibits to see, thrilling carnival rides on the Midway, top-notch entertainers, and vendors across the fairgrounds to tempt you with that fabulous fair food.
We are pleased to welcome our first guest, Richard Fordyce, and Richard is one of the 9 Missouri State Fair commissioners who oversees the operations of the fair, and he joins Tom in the studio with more of what you can expect at this year's fair.
Well, it's that time of year again. The Missouri State Fair kicks off next week. And with me today is Richard Fordyce, and he is the Director of Agriculture in Missouri. And by default, you get a space on the Fair Board Committee.
That is correct. The Missouri Department of Agriculture Director has a seat on the commission. The commission is appointed by the governor. They hire the State Fair Director, who is Mark Wolf. Mark does a fantastic job for Missourians as it relates to the State Fair. But we have a great commission that are, it's a year-long process to get ready for the fair.
All that planning and all that
right.
preparation and making it bigger and better every year.
We are. I mean, we hope we are, and I think fairgoers this year will see, again that that the commission and the State Fair Director have done another great job putting together a state fair this year.
So what's new at the fair this year?
Well, there's a lot of things, frankly. In the Missouri Department of Agriculture, we have an organization called Agri-Missouri. And Agri-Missouri is a group that work with processors and producers in Missouri, exclusively in Missouri, that make food products and other things. But Agri-Missouri have always had a presence in the agriculture building. So we can talk about the ag building in a second, but the Agri-Missouri group are going to move to what we call the Taylor Woods youth area, the cafeteria in the Taylor Woods youth building. And we're going to have the Agri-Missouri Bistro and Market this year in the Taylor Woods area. So it's going to be a great opportunity for fairgoers to try some new foods. I looked at the menu earlier, and the prices are very economical. Especially for fairgoers, and we think we're going to offer some really nice menu items, and then also there's opportunities for fairgoers to purchase Agri-Missouri products, and those are the things you see, like barbecue sauces and jellies and jams and hot sauce and those kind of things that the folks that know about Agri-Missouri will understand.
Wonderful food and Missouri food.
Absolutely.
Oh, that you can't go wrong.
That's
there,
true.
right?
And that area, the Taylor Woods cafeteria, has been a little underutilized, and so there's a lot of folks in the cattle barns in that area that we really felt like this would be a service to fairgoers and to exhibitors to have a place where they could come in, in air conditioning, have a really nice meal, have a nice experience. And so we're pretty excited. First year for that, we're very excited. We think it's going to be a great success.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you had mentioned a little bit about the agricultural building itself has some renovations and some new things.
It does, and so we know that we need to do a better job communicating from the ag department standpoint, communicating to fairgoers about what agriculture is really about. And so we're taking a stab this year at changing the format or the layout of the agriculture building. In the past, it's kind of been divided up in booths, and so, for example, our commodity partners would have a specific booth that was specific to what they're talking about.
Soybean booth.
The soybean booth, the corn booth, the pork booth, the cattleman's booth. So This year, we're going to have a fairly large area, a common area in the center of the Ag Building that's going to be, decorated with banners and all kinds of things highlighting Missouri agriculture. But we're going to have all those groups in that common area this year. So if folks want to come in and talk about agriculture, we'll have a lot of experts in there that will obviously have the opportunity to visit with them about it. But we're going to have interactive displays. And so as fairgoers come in the agriculture building, we've got a couple of goals, I guess. When they walk out of the agriculture building, we want them to talk to other folks on the fairgrounds and say, hey, you really got to go to the Ag Building. There's some neat stuff going on in there. And also, we hope that they walk out with a little more knowledge about agriculture here in the state of Missouri.
Hey, wonderful, wonderful. And there's a particular day that's a Military Appreciation Day. Is that traditional?
It's been tradition for a few years, and it's really one of the highlights. The Missouri Department of Agriculture put on the Military Appreciation Day, and so we invite active soldiers from Whiteman Air Force Base and also Fort Leonard Wood, and we'll have dignitaries from those two military installations. But what's really neat about it is we bring in some military displays, historical and current military displays, and then we have a speaker. Usually, we had a great speaker last year, Tommy McDonald, who was a World War II veteran, was highlighted on some national television programs. This year, it's a real treat for me because our speaker will be from Bethany, where I'm from. He was a World War II veteran. He was a POW in World War II, and he's going to come and tell the crowd his story of his days in the military, and then I think his days after service, serving farmers in the Harrison County area, working for the Soil Conservation Service. So we're very excited about that. We'll have we've got motorcycles.
And which day is that?
This is the first Sunday. First Sunday of the fair.
Okay, great.
So I would encourage your viewers. I mean, this is an awesome event. It's held in the Mathewson Exhibition Center. So again, it'll be air conditioned. It's a great ceremony. It's a great tribute to our military, not only present but past as well.
Great. And another big thing that I've really didn't know much about was the Governor's Ham Breakfast.
Absolutely. Governor's Ham Breakfast, long-time tradition at the State Fair. It's out in the director's tent. And so obviously it's a breakfast, so it's in the morning. So the weather usually is just fantastic. It's an opportunity. The governor will be there and make his address. But we also will auction the champion ham, champion bacon. It is kind of an opportunity. We'll sell, tickets are still available, but we'll sell about 1,000 tickets to the Governor's Ham Breakfast. And it's kind of the who's who in Missouri agriculture will be at the ham breakfast. Certainly open to the public. It's open to anyone who wants to come. But it is truly a great event. Lots of tradition behind that. And again, just one of those great things that you need to do at the Missouri State Fair. All
right. Now, so we all go to the State Fair too for such great entertainment. Who's the big headliners this year?
Well, we try to hit a lot of different genres of music. We feel like that's the right thing to do for different audiences. So we have Def Leppard and Styx, which that's a national tour. They're going to be honestly, they're going to be in Kansas City at the Sprint Center. A day or two, I think, before they're at the State Fair. Our tickets are much more affordable than the ones at the Sprint Center. And so tickets are still available for.
And a really neat venue.
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely, yeah. You can get a corn dog and a Pepsi, and then go watch the show. You can't do that at Sprint Center. So right. So we're excited about that. We're bringing back Alabama. The super country group Alabama. Ticket sales for that are going very, very well. We also have...
they're back in my day. That's like crossover country.
Yeah,
That's
I love Alabama. I probably could sing most of their songs if I got started. But we won't do that today. We have a gospel group, Casting Crowns, which folks that are familiar with more modern Christian music would recognize Casting Crowns. And then we have The Fray, which is more of a rock, newer band. So I think we've covered kind of our bases. And we're excited about all of the grandstand shows that we'll have at the Missouri State Fair.
Wonderful. And you know, we don't have enough time to cover everything at the State Fair because there's so much that goes on. Where's the easiest way to get information on Missouri State
go to the Missouri State Fair website.
MoStateFair.com.
Yes. And everything that you need to know will be there. You know, a lot of our exhibitors, for example, we'll have over 8,000 exhibits, approximately 3,000 exhibitors, and they're primarily young people in our communities across Missouri come and show us what they've been working on all year. You know, the registration deadlines for most of the exhibitors have passed, obviously, since we're going to start next week. But certainly any information for fair goers would be available on the State Fair website. One thing that we are going to have this year new that we haven't had in a number of years is we're going to have auto racing the last night. So the last Sunday night, we're going to have 360 sprint cars, and so we're very excited about that.
Dirt track racing.
Dirt track racing.
Oh, that's a Missouri tradition.
It is. It's fantastic.
All right. Well, Mr. Fordyce, thank you very much for stopping by and telling our viewers about all about what's new at the State Fair this year. So get yourself down to the State Fair.
Thanks, Richard and Tom. If you haven't already made plans to spend some time at the Missouri State Fair, check out all they have to offer and make this the year to see what you've been missing.
With busy lives, it can be hard to find time to volunteer. However, the benefits of volunteering are enormous to you, your family, and your community.
Our next guest, Jean Jones with AARP, Linda Pharma, and Hertha Wooten join us with another volunteering opportunity that might be the right match for you.
Hello in Sheraton Valley. How is everybody out there today? I hope you've had an opportunity since we visited last to find a great project that you could get involved in. Today we're going to offer you another opportunity to become involved. We have with us today two representatives from the Bleasdale Hildreth Museum here in Macon. And these two ladies are Linda Farmer and Hertha Wooten. They're going to tell you about their organization, some of the things that they do, the type of volunteers that they would like to see come out, and some other projects that they've got going. Linda, do you want to start off? Tell us a little bit about your museum and your organization.
Yes, I've been volunteering at the museum for over 25 years, and I've enjoyed it a lot. The house has been there since 1878. Mr. William Van Cleve, who was general in the Missouri militia, and he ended up being in the legislature in 1887, and he was a state senator. So it was it's a Victorian house, and we really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. It needs a lot of volunteers. We have 3 events a year. We have an art show in the spring. We've had that for 11 years. We also usually have a summer event, and that is, we've had front porch jams where we had different singers and bands play there. And also we've had fall events, a lot of different, we're opening during the homecoming. And this year we're going to have a quilt raffle, and because we do need some repairs on the front porch of our house. So also we have Christmas at the museum where we have children decorating trees, and we've done that for over 20 years. And we used to have over 800 children, which was great fun, that we helped with tours, and we've had a lot of volunteers, and we need all kinds of help.
You also mentioned to me earlier, Linda, that you need people just to man the front desk during the hours that you're open for visitors?
Yes, we do.
What kind of hours would that be, and what good kind of responsibilities would those folks have?
Just to show people around the museum. We usually have at least 2 people there, so there would not be one person by themselves, so you wouldn't be alone. And we could have somebody that knows about the museum, and then the new ones can learn about all the history. And we have all kinds of memorabilia from the Van Cleves and Donahys who lived in the house from the late 1800s to to the 80s when the house was sold was 1981, when the last of the family died. So there is a lot of history from all over Macon.
If I were coming into your museum for the very first time, what one special item would you want me to be sure and see before I left?
I would probably say I enjoy looking at the mosaic of Christ that was at the library, Macon Public Library, until it remodeled, and then it was donated to the museum. It was the last thing that Colonel Blease purchased before he died in 1906, and it was at the Episcopal Church in Macon right across the street. So I always feel like if we have Colonel Blease items, it's coming home because he lived a block from the museum. And we do have a lot of Van Cleve and Donahue items also.
That's really great. I understand that you have what may become a little piece of history, and this is a fundraiser that you do every
Yes.
year. And Hertha, were you wanting to tell us about your quilt and what's going to happen with the quilt?
On the 25th of September, which is Macon's homecoming, we are going to raffle off this quilt. It is a twin size quilt. It is all hand stitched, and it was donated by Opal and Robert Harris. And we really appreciate that. And all the money that is collected is going to be to repair the front porches, or the front porch, the roof and the floors of it need repaired.
It's a beautiful quilt, and I can see all the handwork in it. So this is the word too to all you carpenter types out there. Contact these kind ladies and say, when you've got your money raised, you call me and we'll come help you repair that front
That
porch.
would be nice.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes.
Anything else you'd like, either of you like to add today before we go on to some other events?
We're usually open Friday and Saturday. That's when we're trying to be open right now. In the mornings, in the summertime, 10 till noon. And then we're going to be open more in August because we have special tours that are supposed to be in Macon, and we're trying on the 8th. We would need volunteers then.
If
That's
you,
great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If you need information on the quilt, my name is Hertha Wooten, and my phone number is on there. It is 660-415-6981. If you want to donate, I do appreciate it.
I'll tell you, that quilt is something I wouldn't mind having personally. Ladies, I'm so appreciative that you would come in today and share your information about the museum and talk to us about the kind of volunteer help that you're looking for at this time. And I'm sure you're also just looking for members as well. And you know, this is a great way to find out if you want to be part of an organization. Go in and volunteer a couple of times, get to know who's involved, get to know what their goals are, and if it fits with you and it's comfortable, then you've got a home. You can join and become a member of their group.
Yes, that's what I did 25 years ago. So we would like to have some new members, yes.
And it must have been a
volunteers.
great fit for you because you stayed a long time.
I have. It was. It really made me happy. I retired a couple years. I wasn't there, but then I came back, and I love giving tours to nursing homes and the school children. When I saw my face after I gave a tour of the nursing homes, I said, well, I've got to come back and volunteer again.
Isn't there something great about knowing that you've shared with others something that you get so much out of? And
Yes.
that's why we all volunteer, is so that we can share who we are, what we are, our abilities, our opportunities, and just plain love and caring for those around us. There are lots of other organizations out there in the valley that would like your help as well. I know that we're just finishing up with the fair items from Macon County, and I understand that some of you did volunteer to go in and help with that. That benefits the 4-H and the FFA. Girl Scouts are going to be coming around again because one of their young ladies has another project coming on. Macon Senior Center, Meals on Wheels. Seniors and disabled out there who can't leave their homes have a difficult time preparing meals for themselves. Really look forward not only to that hot meal when it comes, but to having somebody to visit with, even if it's only for a few minutes. So you might try contacting the Senior Center. See if they would like to have you volunteer to deliver meals, or even work in the center itself preparing and serving meals. There's lots to be done there as well. And as kind of an offshoot, something that sort of relates back to that, we have the Agape Cafe, which is done by Crossroads Christian Church. And they do that out of the Legion Hall on 2 Saturdays a month. And that kind of takes the place for those who might be receiving some of those Meals on Wheels. They have on-site meals at the Legion, and they also deliver home hot meals on Saturdays, so that's an opportunity for those who would miss maybe their hot lunch at school or their Meals on Wheels noontime meal to have a hot meal. So they also need inside help on preparing and serving, and outside help for delivering. Both of our nursing homes here in Macon are always looking for individuals to read to or visit with or play games with the residents. Just come by and talk, because I can't imagine how lonely that must get at times. Lots of other things you can do in there. They need help sometimes with the residents when they play bingo and do crafts. But you go and talk to Macon Healthcare or Lock Haven. They'll keep you busy, I promise you. Community Child Development Center, Trish Knowles has got a big group of birth to kindergarten age children out there who receive great daycare. But that's all a nonprofit. They, again, just want folks to come in, read to the kids, play a game with the kids, help prepare a snack for the kids. Lots of things to be done. We've had the Historical Society on, and they, like the museum, need folks to work the desk when they're open, so that community members and even those from outside the community who may be passing through have an opportunity to come in and have some information and a guide and be able to appreciate what we have. We've got some home care nonprofits in our area, and some of those do quite a bit of assistance for the folks who are on hospice care, and they're always looking for hospice volunteers. You've got a whole long list of pages and pages of contact information on your screen. So you pick something, and if you can't find something on that list that challenges you, you call me personally, Jean Jones, 385-5233, and I'll help you find a project that you can appreciate, or we'll create one together. Something else I might think about doing, and you might be able to help me with this, is come September, we will have been doing this show for a year. What I would love to do would be take one of the tapings in September and talk to some of you who have seen us and who have said, maybe I should go try that. Contact me. We'd love to have you on the show and hear your volunteering in the Valley story, because that's what makes this real. It's what makes it personal. It's what makes it fun. We'll see you next time. See you out there somewhere volunteering in the Valley. Thank you.
Helping others kindles happiness, as many studies have demonstrated. Thank you, Jean, Linda, and Hertha, for helping others find volunteer opportunities that match their interests and hobbies.